This weekend in Atlanta, I'm going to be at MomoCon. If anyone's in Atlanta, come on, stop by, say hi. We'll be in the indie game section with some wonderful volunteers from the wonderful state of Georgia. Who've graciously agreed to help us out in exchange for attendance at the show. I've never been to MomoCon, but apparently they had a pretty good attendance last year, and they're expecting it to grow this year. So that's awesome. We got an invitation basically to apply to their indie game showcase, and so we did. And it looks like it's gonna be a pretty good time. Here's the only downside to the Atlanta show, and John already knows about this. Friday and Saturday, the show floor area where our booth is gonna be opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 9 p.m. So I have two 11-hour days back to back, and that's not even the close of the show. The show is open until 1 a.m., similar to like how a PAX, like the board game area, is. So yeah, it's gonna be
drink lots of Nos.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very tired.
Or other horrible energy drinks.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, what is else in the new news? People in the chat are mentioning the RPG, which was announced since last week.
Yeah, it's fun to actually be able to not have to pretend we don't know about that anymore. Yes, it's one of the wonderful things you get for being a partner who works behind the scenes. We've actually known about the RPG. When did I learn about it? We've probably known about it since before we released the video game, actually.
At least like that it was something that might happen ever.
Yeah.
So like the first thing that I saw was like, when's Handle ever going to make the MMO?
Yes, so that would be neat. And when we have the ability to find, millions of dollars of funding, we will absolutely consider doing a City of Heroes, City of Villains, Sentinels of the Multiverse, MMO.
If everyone in the chat room today sends us $1 million each, no problem. No problem.
Yep.
Consider it done.
Consider it done. All right, so welcome one and all to the Handelabra live stream of Sentinels of the Multiverse. As always, the goal of these streams is to show you how to play the game, as well as cover some strategy that can help you win. As we are the developers, you can always be sure to get some insight into the process, as well as maybe see some stuff before anyone else. As you all know, we are in the midst of the Infernal Relics preview time, so you will be seeing some new Infernal Relics content this evening, which is very exciting. As you all know, the game includes a tutorial that does cover the basics, but we always do our best to explain exactly what we're doing, when we do it, and why. 2 weeks ago was a really perfect example of this, because we played our most epic game against Voss, where we were playing, and it took us 53 minutes to actually deal any damage to him whatsoever, but we actually ended up winning. So that
we were getting prepared.
We were preparing. We were getting ready. And also, as a result of that, it depends on how long it takes for us to win or lose. We may play more than one full game in a session. I don't know that we will tonight, even if it's a quick game. I know last week we did a quick game and we got out pretty fast, but I still have to pack and get prepped because I leave for Atlanta tomorrow morning. So I don't know that I can really stay too late because I have to make sure that I get this out in time before I leave tomorrow. On YouTube.
The villain that we are playing is not known for having short games either.
That's true.
The chat room might have some idea now what's going to happen.
Since they were discussing this, yes. All right, so final bit there is that, of course, that Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iPad, Android tablets, as well as PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and you can get the game as well as anything else related to the game at sentinelsdigital.com. So yes, as John mentioned, we are going to be showing, or as I mentioned, we're going to be showing off new content. As John mentioned, it's going to be somebody who is not known for short games. That's right.
They're good at guessing.
How do you say the name of this villain, John?
Akash'bhuta.
Yeah, we've heard
something
it
said
like that. Akash'bhuta. I say Akash'bhuta personally.
Do you say the apostrophe?
I say Akash''Buddha. Sorry, Thunder Show. We are all full up on volunteers, but thank you for the offer.
But you should come by the booth.
You should come by the booth if you're around. All right, so let's go ahead and quick play here. So we're going to start up the room. So as you guys also know, we are showing off multiplayer in these streams as we continue to work on it. Every week, you're probably going to see some things a little bit different. in here because we're constantly working on it. We do expect to get multiplayer into some sort of public beta at some point over the summer. Unfortunately, we can't give you a more specific timeline on that because it is a very, very much still a moving target. But you get to take a look at it. Like, for instance, last week our games got desynced and we had to sort of quit out and just play it the old school way with sharing the screen via Skype because it just was not working properly. Hopefully that won't happen this week. So as we said, we're playing against Akash'bhuta, Chaos-Bound Creator. Let's talk about how she works. So at the start of the game, Akash'bhuta enters play Chaos-Bound Creator side up. She is sort of, what was I saying before? She's sort of an environment in and of herself, kind of. She's part of, sort of attached to the earth, right?
Yeah, she's almost like a Gaia, but bad.
Exactly. Whenever an environment, and yes, and so a couple of people were talking about how high her initial HP is, and it is pretty high. It's the highest of anybody we've had so far in the game. Is she the highest of anything that's been released?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Okay.
I think Omnitron's the highest so far, and he's 100.
Ha.
Oh, and I mean, like for anything in the card game,
that's what she's the highest that has been released on the tabletop at all at this point.
She's the highest of anything anywhere.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, but you'll see when we play that some of her mechanics and the way that it works, there's a reason why it's so high. Generally speaking, games that I've played against her, I deal very little damage to her directly. Whenever a villain target enters play, the top card of the environment deck is discarded. And when the environment trash is shuffled into the environment deck, Akash'bhuta flips. She may only flip this way once per turn. So basically, she grinds the environment deck. That's what she's all about. Then she flips, joink, and we end up on the Avatar of Destruction side whenever the environment deck is shuffled. And we say whenever an environment target is destroyed, the top card of the villain deck is played. Whenever a villain target is destroyed, the top card of the environment deck is discarded. So again, still, sort of grinding that environment deck, but on this side, the destruction of environment targets plays villain cards.
Yeah, so...
And we're not going to be playing...
One side, she's all about creation. The other side, all about destruction.
Indeed. All right, and John has already picked his characters. He's going to be playing Haka, who we all know. And we're going to be showing you... I believe this is our first new variant for this this cycle. Is that right? Have we shown any of the other variants yet?
That's right. This is the first one we're showing off.
Right. So first variant we're showing off, and that is Ra, Horus of Two Horizons. His default power is Sunrise. Draw 3 cards, discard 2. So very different than base Ra, who is a damage dealer in his basic power. We'll see how that affects playing of Ra's deck. All right, so let's go back into the heroes now. I'm going to be playing...
This variant Ra, he obviously can't deal damage directly with his power, but he can get through his deck really quickly, so he can quickly find his damage-dealing powers.
All right, and then I am going to be playing Argent Adept, which is a good choice tonight because Argent Adept is Akash'bhuta's nemesis, so we will be dealing with that a little bit. And then, as looking through our sort of history of characters we've played, one of our least played characters is Tempest. So we figured we'd get him into the ring a little bit this evening. So we've got Tempest. I think this was the order we were going to do too. Tempest, Ra, Horus of Two Horizons, the Argent Adept, and then Haka. Does that sound right, or did we want to flip any of those around?
That sounds fine.
All right. And then, just because I feel like there's a decent synergy between that, we're going to do Insula Primalis this evening. Since Akash'bhuta looks very much like she would be right at home on Insula Primalis. All right. We're going to ready up. John will ready up, and here we go.
FPO.
Yes, you fight the strength of the storm, face the maelstrom. So yes, Ra's artwork is not new yet, but Akash'bhuta's artwork is. So we're very excited to have the new artwork there. All right, let's see what we've got team-wise. Tempest has a ball lightning and otherworldly resilience and 2 shielding winds.
The chat asks if this is the finished artwork. Yep, this is the new artwork for this villain.
Yeah, for Akash'bhuta, this is the finished artwork, not for Ra, unfortunately. All right, so Horus of Two Horizons has got a Flame Spike, a Flesh of the Sun God, a Staff of Ra, and a Wrathful Gaze. Okay, so wait. Someone asked, is there a way to turn down video quality to reduce buffering? I don't know. I stream at whatever the default is. So
Yeah, I think that's on their side. There might be a button or something.
I think that has to do with what they've got going on the Twitch side of things, unfortunately. But I will look into it before next week. I'm not sure if that's a thing I can do, but I will look for it. Argent Adept. We've got an Arcane Cadence, a Sadistic Dissonant, a Counterpoint Bulwark, and Inspiring Supertonic. So 2 harmonies of rhythm, and then the Arcane Cadence, which allows me to do some, basically some deck management. Pull 5 cards and move them all around in some interesting ways. And then finally, we have Haka, who is set up to do some damage. We got Elbow Smash, Ground Pound, Haka of Battle, and Rampage. Very cool. All right. So we will start the game, and let's see what she's got for us. Earth Sacrifice. Destroy 4 hero ongoing cards. I'll always start with that. Who took my nipples?
Yeah,
evil
pretty easy opening turn. So what we didn't really see about Akash'bhuta in the character card is that her whole mechanic has to do with her limbs. She plays targets that, when destroyed, she deals herself damage.
Yeah.
So that's really important, and that's why her hit points are so high, is that there's other ways to knock her down. So, But we are lucky because nothing happened on that first turn.
Yes. All right. So, yeah, I feel like Ball Lightning is a loser because there's no ongoing cards I want to destroy, and it's only 4 lightning damage. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I would save that because we want to have ongoing destruction.
Yeah.
And we don't have any other right now, so.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to go with
Otherworldly?
Yeah, Otherworldly Resilience. Just reduce damage to Tempest by 1. That's a pretty basic way to go. Shielding Winds, I don't know that there's a lot of major destruction out that you have to do 5 damage to get you have to be dealt 5 damage to get Shielding Winds into play. So, and then I'm just going to use Squall and deal 1 projectile damage to all targets, which in this case is just Akash'bhuta, and that's it. Ooh, Gene-Bound Shackles. I'll take that.
We are a 0.5% the way to victory.
There you go. Thank you, none left.
All right. So for Ra, I'm going to save the Staff of Ra because I want to make use of its healing, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and become immune to fire damage because that can be handy in this environment by playing Flesh of the Sun God. That will let me make everyone immune to fire damage if we want to. And then I'll use my power to draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards. Make sure we get the same card. Summon Staff, Scorched Earth.
Yep.
And Scorched Earth.
Yep.
And I'm going to discard Wrathful Gaze, which isn't always too useful. And I think I'll discard a Scorched Earth because I like all my other cards. And a Solar Flare. Cool. Ra's getting set up to do some damage.
Right on.
All right. So you're playing Argent Adept again.
All right. Yes. I really want to get good at Argent Adept because I feel like I like his mechanics a lot.
So you do already have Inspiring Supertonic, which is key to him.
Yeah, so the perform here, one player may use a power now, and then a company Argent Adept regains 2 HP. So what John is talking about is that if you use... So, for instance, Argent Adept's base power is activate a perform text, vocalize. So sing his song. If he sings Inspiring Supertonic, the perform is one player may use a power now. He can then use that power to then use another... either a perform or a company, depending on what instruments are out, etc., etc. Or he can bounce it off of another hero and let them do some extra.
Yeah, let someone else use a power.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'll get that out actually. So you don't have in Ra, you don't have a power out that can deal damage yet.
No, Haka can do 2.
Haka can do 2. I'm gonna let Haka do 2. And I think I'm going to Arcane Cadence next turn to start building some stuff up.
The chat was wondering, and I'll repeat, that this card is key to his strategy. And that's it. All right. Haka deals 1 target, 2 melee damage. Nice, Vernal Sonata. All right. It's Haka time. So I'm going to hold on to that Rampage. That's going to be useful later, I'm sure. And I'm just going to start hitting... Oh, now they're groaning. Excellent. You didn't get my pun, did you?
I got it, and then I kept thinking there was more to it. You're just making a music pun, right? About keys?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just keep talking about it. That makes jokes better.
Especially when you explain them.
Yeah. Gaffa Dream, should I be taking notes? I like it.
All right, we get a Velociraptor pack, and then, as we say, when on this side, when a environment target is played, that
good
triggers...
Raptor chomps the brambles.
Yeah, and so sometimes you get a nice synergy like that, where the Raptor goes after one of the limbs. And so now we're getting at C, so you can see this like ensnaring brambles, living rock slide.
Yeah, so let's take a look at ensnaring brambles and see what it does. It's a pretty annoying card for the heroes.
At the end of the villain turn, select the hero target with the lowest HP. That target cannot deal damage until the start of the next villain turn. These are really frustrating cards. Like, I like cards that it's like when in play it has this effect, but this is like once we destroy this, it doesn't actually erase its effect. Its effect lasts until the next villain turn, no matter what. But obviously, you do want to destroy these because you can see here it says when this card is destroyed, Akash'bhuta deals herself 9 energy damage. Same thing with Living Rock Slide. This is 10 energy damage that she deals herself. So that's why you really want to go after these limbs, because as soon as you get them out, they work for you. It's also really, really super important, especially if you're playing with someone like Tachyon, not to Hypersonic Assault Akash'bhuta, because you want Akash'bhuta to be able to deal damage to herself. You don't want to stop that. So.
Unless you're not playing to take out any limbs.
True.
Yeah, so ground pound can be also bad. The rock slide throws rocks at us.
All right, so no ongoing yet. So I think actually I'm going to get Gene-bound Shackles out. And then that
makes
way,
sense.
All the extra damage I do to Akash'bhuta, who will be number 1 for the foreseeable future, we'll continue to do some damage there. So we'll do 3 to Akash'bhuta, 1 to Ensnaring Brambles, 1 to Living Rock Slide, and 1 to Velociraptor pack. Ooh, Cleansing Downpour. So you get that out, and that's where Tempest can go from your damage-dealing character to your awesome support character.
Yeah.
Or both. Why not both?
Why not both? All right, so I'm going to play Summon Staff, which lets me get another staff, draw a card, and play a card, so it's almost always a good idea. I get a Summon Staff, which I'm going to play. And I get a staff. So I have all the staves of Ra in my hand.
Something about clefs. Sorry, I want to participate in the puns. And something about clefs. I don't know. Can you even use cleft to mean anything else?
I'm going to play a Staff of Ra because I have so many.
Yeah, you might as well. Jeez, you have 4 of them? Wow.
Yes, because I had a couple summon staffs, and the last one drew a staff and got one. So, yeah, I have many. So I guess the question is, do I throw a staff now, or do I save it for next turn so I can use Flame Spike and get more damage? I think we want to get rid of those brambles. They're annoying.
Yep.
So that's going down. Now, actually, the raptor will eat the brambles at this point.
You get a Wrathful Gaze.
All right, so I know you're planning to deal damage as the Argent Adept. You can't do that.
I can't do that, so that's why I was thinking I would Arcane Cadence, actually.
You're not going to deal damage anyways.
What I'm saying is I'm not going to deal damage, but if I Arcane Cadence, I can maybe get... Yes, okay, so...
Another Arcane Cadence.
Yes. All right, so we've got hand, top, bottom, trash, play. So I think I'm going to want to play Arcane Cadence. I've already got a counterpoint Bulwark, so that can be my trash. What's the Polyphoric Flare? Argent that deals himself 2 energy damage. If he takes damage this way, you may use a power now. It's a one-shot. Infernal Sonata is also a one-shot. All right. And
I like having Vernal Sonatas in hand.
Yeah. You want to have those in hand. All right, so I'm going to do Izadar's Horn in hand. Then I'm going to put Vernal Sonata on top of deck. I'm going to put Polyphoric Flare on the bottom of deck. I'm going to trash Counterpoint Bulwark, and then I will play another Arcane Cadence. So that brings me the Vernal Sonata again. So let's see what we got here. Maybe I will... I've already got Inspiring Supertonic out. Rhapsody of Vigor is which one? Up to 5 targets regain 1 HP each. Alright, so you think I should keep...
Yeah, so you can trash the Supertonic because you have one.
Right.
And you don't need to have 2. The Conjuration is nice because it lets you find instruments anywhere they are and draw an extra card. So if you put that on in your hand, whatever you put in your hand and on top of your deck, you're going to get in your hand now.
Right.
I guess you might want to play a Conjuration. That's not a bad idea, too.
Yeah, actually, I think that... Well, I've got Izadar's Horn in hand right now.
But you can't play it. But yeah, if you have the Supertonic, it's really nice to have the Lyra or the Harp because they let you use it.
All right, so what do you think? Vernal Sonata on top, in hand, and on top?
Sure.
That's what I was thinking. So Vernal Sonata, then Rhapsody on bottom, Inspiring in trash, and play that.
Yeah, so if you look at the Harp and the Lyra, they both allow you to perform a harmony. The Harp is nice if you only have the Supertonic because you can perform and accompany that same card.
Yeah, you can do both of them. That's yeah, and then activate. And actually, I think I had at least one other harmony in hand already.
Yeah, you have Sadistic Dissonant.
Yeah, I have Sadistic Dissonant. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do the Harp. Oh, and then I drew Jew's Bell as well. So I've got a couple of choices on instruments there. All right, so let's go ahead and do the Harp. And I am not going to do... Like, I don't need to heal and then heal some more, so I'm just going to do... did Ra have a damage dealer out currently?
No.
No, so just go back to...
I think Tempest is going to do the most damage overall.
All right, yeah, we'll do Tempest. And we'll choose Forming. Got a Dream, we will. This is, again, still pre-release. The underlines on those will come eventually.
Yes, this is all still under development.
All right, and then I will regain 2 HP. And I drew Inventive Preparation.
I agree. People are wondering when it's going to desync. Most likely it's desynchronized because something else random happened that we haven't covered. Not shuffling. Okay. So, what do I want to do? I kind of want to leave that raptor so he can kill the brambles.
Yes, you can use an instrument if you can't fulfill both parts of it.
Yes.
As an answer to Dark Roy Dante, excuse me.
But if you can use the other half and you don't want to, you still have to.
You still have to, yes.
Like, say you have only Sadistic Dissonant out, and you use it, you have to destroy an instrument if you use the Perform. I'm going to play Hawk of Battle more to get the card draw than anything. Yeah. I like Punish the Weak in this setup, so I'm going to discard Hawk of Restoration and Vitality Surge, I think. And next turn I'll play Punish the Weak. And I'll keep Ground Pound around for a rainy day. It's nice to have. And I will deal 4 damage over to the Living Rock Slide. And Dominion, that's nice. Especially since Akash'bhuta often just destroys environment cards on her own.
Yeah, so Dark Roy Dante, I just wanted to address, because I absolutely understand the confusion about that. There is sort of an implication that, like, if you can't use both, then you wouldn't be able to play that. But remember that, generally speaking, it's a good rule of thumb in this game that, like, you can attempt to do anything you want. And if you can't, then it just doesn't work. And one of those examples is... so, like, when you play, the good example here is when you play Super Scientific Tachyon's Experiment, okay? Under normal circumstances, you would not be able to even attempt to play an ongoing card that's limited that you already have in play. But when she uses her experiment, it forces the issue, and it tries to play it, it sees there's one in play, and then it discards it. So even though you couldn't choose to play an ongoing limited that you already have in play when it's your turn, when a game mechanic forces the issue, then such is life. And the same kind of situation happens when you try to use an instrument that cannot use one of the cards that's in play, or is looking for a card that isn't in play. You can still use it. It'll look for it. If it can't find it, then it can't find it, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah. For another example is this says destroy 4 environment cards. Or equipment cards. There's only 2, but you do as much as you can.
Yeah.
And they all heal up.
Yes, Capybara. Undo is in for multiplayer. We haven't had to use it yet, but we did test it last week and it was working. So.
And then I changed a whole lot of stuff around Undo, so who knows? It might not work anymore.
Yeah, it may not work. So we're not going to use it unless we have to.
We can try it, but yeah. We don't normally use it unless we have to, so.
Yeah.
Alright, the Rock Slide does a lot of projectile damage. Well, that was annoying. All that work for the Rock Slide.
Oh, well.
That's okay. It wasn't that much work.
Okay. Let's see here. Dinosaur. Like, it's not going to be useful to destroy either of those ongoings.
Yeah, you
Pterodactyl Thief, since we haven't talked about this card in a while. At the start of the environment turn, destroy all equipment cards. Put cards destroyed this way beneath this card. Then this card deals each hero target X sonic damage. Now, this actually would have been a thing had we not just lost a bunch of our equipment cards. So this isn't going to do anything unless we put out equipment this turn and then don't kill the Pterodactyl Thief.
Yeah, I'm probably going to kill the Pterodactyl Thief with Scorched Earth.
Yeah, so you know what? I'm just going to get Cleansing Downpour out. That way I'll be ready to do some support if I need to, but I don't think we need to heal up just yet, so I'm just going to use Squall and deal some...
Because then you have it.
Some broad damage. Because then you have it, which is nice. Some people like to have the 2 guardhouses. Because then you have it.
Alright, so Scorched Earth I'm going to play, which does X fire damage, where X is the number of environment cards in play, to all non-hero targets. So it's a pretty strong card. I'm going to, buy Velociraptor. You are our friend right now, but I'm going to kill you. So the order here matters a lot, because if I destroy the Velociraptor or the Thief, I end up doing less damage to... It dynamically reduces the amount of damage, the X on that card. So you have to be careful with that. But maybe you want that. We could not destroy the Raptor. Actually, that is going to happen. So we can, because it's still at 2. I destroy the Thief, and now X is 1. So there's only 1 damage to the Raptor, and he lives because we like him.
Well played.
I'm going to go ahead. I have lots of cards. I could always get more cards. Fire Blast, nice. Flame Spikes. Fire Blast, all right. That's good stuff. And Wrathful Gaze can be discarded. And probably Solar Flare, yeah.
Oh, 2 Fire Blasts, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. My
You can deal damage now, though you probably won't.
Yeah, my well-chosen instrument got destroyed. Let's take a look. What is Zoo's Bell? Activate the perform of a rhythm and the accompany text of either a rhythm or a harmony. And then Izadar's Horn is perform of a melody and accompany of a harmony. Let's see. So this is destroy an instrument. If you do, destroy any one card in play other than the character card, or discard 2, draw 3. Counterpoint Bulwark. Select 2 targets until the start of your next turn and reduce damage dealt to those targets by 1. And accompany one player may draw 1 card now. I'm actually not reading these for the benefit of the stream. I'm mostly reading them because I still don't know his deck well enough to know exactly what they all mean right off the bat. So
I like inventive preparation a lot as well, because it lets other players play cards.
Yeah, so one player other than you plays a card now, or each player may look at the top card of their hero deck and replace it or discard it. That's interesting. And that's a rhythm. Actually, yeah, so let's do that. And then... if Tempest does broad damage... We don't want that, actually, because of the Velociraptor pack. So I should have Haka...
We could have Haka do 2 damage, or we could have Tempest heal.
Oh, that's right. We could have Tempest heal. Yeah, let's just do that. I'm going to vocalize and have Tempest heal. So why not? So we'll Inspire. And we'll Inspire Tempest. And we'll do Cleansing Downpour. And that is going to heal everybody.
Arcanus Lupus asks, has already been asked many, many, many times, will multiplayer be cross-platform compatible?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. And Additional asks, is this multiplayer over the internet? Yes, multiplayer over the internet is happening before your very eyes.
Yes. So I am Jeremy, and I am in Cleveland, Ohio.
I am John. I'm in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It even works in Canada.
Yep.
So that's important.
There you have it.
Ooh, do I want to punish the weak? I'm going to play Dominion. To punish the weak is actually going to hurt me right now.
I was going to say, you don't want to punish the weak because of Velociraptor.
Yeah. So previously we would do this stream over screen share, but we are not sharing screen. We are using voice chat on Skype, but we are planning to have voice chat in the game as well. I'm going to start focusing on the Carapace because it gives her damage reduction. I don't like that.
Woo! Lou Dolphin is from Cleveland. Are you from Cleveland, or are you in Cleveland currently? Or both? Dragon 240 also. My goodness, all the Clevelanders are coming out. Ooh,
sorry for being from Cleveland. Obsidian Field's great.
Yep.
+1 damages. Guess the Rock Slide is going to kill the Raptor now, but that's okay. Haka will get a card. Multiplayer will not work in the UK probably because everything's backwards there. So, sorry. Choose for me is fine.
He's kidding.
Haka of Shielding. All right, so who can't deal damage? Probably Argent Adept. Yeah,
probably.
Additional asks, it's a Steam version? This is a Steam version. Thank you for buying a 4-pack right now.
Okay, but just to be 100% clear, this what we are playing right now is a test build.
Yes.
This
is
build
an internal
is not yet
alpha,
available.
Pre-alpha.
Yes, this is a pre-alpha of multiplayer. So if you buy the Steam version, yes, you will get this eventually when it is complete, but it is not yet complete.
Yes.
All right, so yes, I believe, Adept cannot deal damage, so... Ensnaring Brambles. Argent Adept cannot deal damage. So, all right, Tempest. What do we got here? We got a Lightning Slash, which is a good...
I wouldn't be opposed to a Lightning Slash.
Just get rid of Mona's Carapace, or should I go after Ensnaring Brambles and someone else will take care of the Carapace?
Yeah, if you hit the Brambles down, we have enough area damage.
Because I can do 1 damage to it,
like
as Tempest.
Yeah, just go ahead and hit something else, and then...
Yeah, I want to maximize the damage on this, and I'd like to get that Ensnaring Brambles down. Oh, right, because the Obsidian Field is out, too.
Yeah, hit the Brambles. and
Yeah,
that'll
'cause I
take
don't
it down
want-
to 2.
Yeah, I don't want the living rock slide to go until we've killed the carapace.
We're down to 1, yeah. And Ra can do another... Oh, he doesn't have that, but Ra can do more damage. I can... And Haka has a rampage if we have to. Which we probably won't have to. Ooh, localized hurricane. Love it.
Nice. I love that card. I do not want to discard and get rid of Obsidian Field.
Level Up Leo is in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we played against Akash'bhuta yesterday. All right. Oh, I can do area damage with Drawn to the Flame. I can do 1 damage to everything because of Obsidian Field. I think I want to do that. Yeah, and then Haka has Elbow Smash. We can take care of the Rock Slide. Yeah, so this is a little unusual, but I'm going to play Drawn to the Flame. And so it's a useful strategy tip because Ra deals each non-hero target X fire damage, where X is the number of villain ongoing cards in play. Well, there's 0, so it's each non-hero target 0 fire damage. Why would you want to do that? Obsidian Field is increasing damage by 1, so it's actually going to do 1 damage to everything, which is awesome.
Yes, and again, now this is another situation where the order is going to matter. So I vote for Mountainous Carapace first. Why do I do that? Because Mountainous Carapace is reducing damage to Akash'bhuta by 1. So once Mountainous Carapace is out, that'll do its damage to Akash'bhuta. Then we can take out Ensnaring Brambles. It'll deal its damage to Akash'bhuta.
Without the -1.
I have to rephrase. Akash'bhuta will deal that damage to herself.
Yes.
But it will not be reduced by 1 because the Carapace will be gone.
Yeah, so the Mountainous Carapace's damage, the -1 does take effect while it's being destroyed, which is fine. But yeah, for the next card, it won't. And in fact, for that straight up 1 damage, we can do to it as well. So, well done, Ra. You're a true champion.
You are a true Horus of Two Horizons.
In case you're wondering, the artwork for the variant Ra is not updated yet. That's just off of his character card.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so let's see what we got here. I'm going to once again read some instrument texts because I always forget what they are. All right, so perform of a melody, accompany of a harmony. That is Izadar's horn. Zoo's bell is perform of a rhythm, and then the accompany of either a rhythm or a harmony. So this is probably a good one. What is inventive preparation?
yeah, for what you have right now.
Yeah, Zoo's bell is definitely the right
Bell.
choice for what I have right now. So let's use that. That's going to let me use the perform of inventive preparation, which is to let each player look at the top card of their hero deck and then replace it or discard it. So we'll do that. So start with Tempest. Do I want to discard Aquatic Correspondence? Let's see.
You probably won't need that because you're going to get localized hurricane.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So let's discard it. All right, then Ra. You've got Flame Barrier.
I like Flame Barrier. I'm going to hang on to that.
All right, Argent Adept. Let's see what we got here. Drake's Pipes. I think we're going to keep that. 2 different melody cards. I only don't have either in play, but I always want to have more instruments. So, and then Haka.
No, I want to keep Rampage.
Rampage!
Rampage around the world.
Tales of Enrampagement. All right. So, and then I have the choice of regaining 2 HP for myself or allowing somebody else to play a card, which I feel like is probably the more useful thing. Let's see who we got here. Haka, is there anything in particular you'd want to play?
I feel like
Smash.
I'm going to play Punish the Weak and then destroy the Rock Slide. So I don't think Haka doesn't really need to play a different card. But Ra could play a Staff, or actually a Staff would be great for Ra.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Because I was gonna say, like, I could try and play localized hurricane now, but then I'm maximizing the negative effects and not the positive effects because it boosts damage to Tempest by 1. So all right, so we'll let Ra play a card, and I'm gonna vote for a Staff of Ra. No, the other one.
I only have 4. He's at full. So far, so good.
And there's Drake's Pipes. I do not want to discard 2 cards.
All right, so I'm going to play Punish the Weak, which is an interesting card for Haka. Whenever he would damage the non-hero target with the lowest HP, the damage is increased by 1. When you damage any other target, you reduce that damage by 1. So it works really well against certain villains. I find it works pretty well against Akash'bhuta because there's often a low HP target you can take advantage of. You can also use Rampage and will do 1 less damage to your hero targets. You can often chain Rampage through a lot of enemies, doing plus damage to them and destroying them, and 0 and only 1 damage to all the heroes. I'm going to use Crush, and because of Punish the Weak, that gets an extra +1. And then that's going to be 11. And there's
So
that
for those of you
Rampage.
who have maybe not been paying attention, now you can see why the goal with Akash'bhuta is not necessarily to be dealing damage to her directly, but to take out those limbs, get them played, and then take them out as fast as you can, because they each deal a pretty hefty amount of damage.
All right, we have a Raptor and a Brambles. I think this happened before. Oh, and there go our ongoing cards. All right, we have to make some choices.
Yeah, all right, so let's see what we got here. I mean, given that I'm going to be playing what Tempest is going to be playing, I don't really want to get rid of Otherworldly Resilience if we can avoid it.
Yeah, we can get rid of Drawn to the Flame.
All right, so Drawn to the Flame is a good one. So that's 1.
Can probably lose Dominion.
Okay.
Flesh of the Sun God. Haven't really needed that. And do we really need Cleansing Downpour right now?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like
You're not going to use it.
things have been moving along pretty well.
We're like
so.
we have heroes at full health.
Yeah.
All right, Tempest is up.
All right, so as we talked about, I'm going to play Localized Hurricane. This is an interesting card because it's one of the only cards, I believe, the only card with 2 powers on it?
It's the only card with 2 powers on it.
Only card
At-
with 2 powers
At
on
least
it.
that has been printed so far.
That has been printed so far. Obviously, Argent Adept has Performs and Accompanies, which is a similar thing, but not the same. The 2 powers, one is to actually just get rid of this card because it boosts damage dealt to Tempest. And they obviously wanted to include a way to get rid of that if you could. But it's such a powerful...
There are many cards that include a way to do that, but they tend to have,
They're
you can do
built
this
into the
thing
use
or
of the
destroy this
power.
card.
Yeah.
Or they only have a power to destroy this card, that's it.
Yep.
Like
All
Punch the Weak.
But it is such a powerful card that I feel like it tends to be worth it. Deal 2 targets, 3 projectile damage each, and then also draw 2 cards, which is, that's huge. So we're definitely going to...
Real Fan of Fanatic claims that Imbued Fire has 2 powers, and that is incorrect. I suppose Plague Rat has 2 powers, but I'm not counting that.
All right, should
That's
I go
not
after the
at all the same
Velociraptor
thing.
pack, or should I just hit Akash'bhuta?
I'll just hit Akash'bhuta. I suppose we should say it's the only hero card with 2 powers.
Lots of shielding wins. And now a second Localized Hurricane, which, interestingly enough, Localized Hurricane is not a limited card, which means you can actually have 2 of them in play. They will each one will increase the damage by 1, but then you can, if you have the opportunity to use 2 powers in a turn as Tempest, you can do a lot of damage and draw a lot of cards.
Yeah, like if you have Embolden on you or something.
Yep.
Okay. So we could actually keep those brambles around for the raptor to eat. Might not be a bad idea.
Yep. Maybe Fire Blast the Akash'bhuta?
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to... Well, I might Flame Spike, actually.
Oh, right. And then rip up that staff?
Yeah. And then you can let me play another staff.
I can.
Though actually, I don't need to. Maybe I'll just fire. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to. I want to have the +1 damage all the time. Yeah, maybe I'll just Fire Blast and use my base power. I'll hang on to that because I know Flame Barrier is coming actually, and I like to have the staff out for that. 7 damage. That's solid. Then I will use my power to draw 3 and discard 2. And actually, one interesting thing is with Excavation, a card that I have, we can slow down Akash'bhuta's flipping, which is interesting. All right, 2 Flame Barriers. I only need 1. And what else? As much as I'm just going to discard Excavation, I'm not going to need it. And I don't care too much about slowing down Akash'bhuta. All right.
Okay, let's see. We talked a little bit about Drake's Pipes, but I actually don't have any Melody cards in play right now, so that's probably not the best play. We've got Sadistic Dissonant, which isn't bad given that I've got Zeus Bell out. Destroy an instrument if you do destroy any one card, or discard 2 cards, draw 3. And I've got still got those 2 Vernal Sonatas, which we don't really need them. They've got the healing, unless anybody has anything they really are dying to get out of their trash.
Not super much.
Yeah,
you could always just start getting out more things. Like sadistic dissonant is really handy to have.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I think I'm gonna get out is get sadistic dissonant out, because with Zeus Bell, I can discard and draw if I'm looking for something interesting else to get out there.
So letting someone else play a card is usually awesome.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. We'll perform the rhythm. Each player may look at the top of their deck again. So let's take a look at that. Start with Tempest. Reclaim from the Deep. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just going to discard that because we have another way to do almost the exact same thing. All right, Ra.
Mute Fire. I want to have that. I will not discard it.
All right, Ardent Adept. Sarband of Destruction. Perform. Destroy 1 ongoing or environment card.
That is a very useful song.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that. And then Haka.
Ground Pound. Can never have too many Ground Pounds.
Awesome. All right, now I have 3 options for... I can let 1 player play, I can regain 2 HP, or I can discard 2, draw 3. Who had a card that wanted to be played?
You could let Ra play things. He's got lots of things to play.
All right. Yeah, because I don't think Tempest has anything that he wants to play all that, crazily.
Okay.
So if you're cool with Ra, we'll do Ra.
Yep. Ra can play a Summoned Staff and get that Imbued Fire and play it.
Yes, Argent Adept and Akash'bhuta are nemesis. I did mention it when we were doing game setup. We have not mentioned it since. Maybe
I should play a Flame Barrier first and Imbued Fire next time.
Mainly because Argent Adept hasn't dealt any damage yet, so...
Yeah, Flame Barrier is pretty sweet, so I'm going to get that out in case if anyone attacks Ra, he hits them back for a pile of damage right now. All right, Haka. I could Rampage, but I don't think it's really worth it.
Yeah, you want to save the Rampage for when there's like 4 limbs on the board.
Yeah. So I am going to do reduced damage, though, because of Punish the Weak.
What's up?
So maybe I do want a Rampage.
Yeah, you're fine. Great, thank you. It's just so hot here.
If I don't, I guess I still have a +1 for the Obsidian Field, so it's not too bad. All right, I'll just Elbow Smash, so it's +1 -1 to Akash'bhuta, and then base power to Akash'bhuta. Chip away at her. Yeah, Hako shielding for card draws wouldn't have been a bad idea too, but that's okay. Oh, more damage!
Ooh, another obsidian field. I like that.
Yeah, so that's pumping up the damage from the destruction of those things too.
Yep.
Oh, and here come a bunch of limbs.
Ah, yes, a primeval eruption. Got a living rock slide, arboreal phalanges.
And then it plays another card. And here's Entomb. That goes off at the start of the villain turn, so we're safe from it for now.
Yeah, choose for me.
Yeah, so for Entomb, that's where we can use that ball of lightning.
Yes.
Hooray, flame barrier.
Yeah, so we were kind of having a bit of a cakewalk there for a while, but now you can see, now that we've got a bunch of limbs out,
Yeah, a bunch of them came out, but
the tide can turn.
It's going to be rampage time. So if we get them down to 6 hit points, which most of them are down there already. Actually, if we get them down to 7 hit points, no, down to 8 hit points, Haka will do them 8 hit points, 8 points of damage, because he does 5, and it's going to be plus 3. So just get that phalanges down below 8, and we'll be fine.
So I'll ball lightning the phalanges.
Yeah,
That takes it
there you
down
go.
to 6. And then
Haka might not even get to do it.
and then I'm going to kill that Entomb, and then I'm not going to bother doing my second card destruction. Thanks.
Yeah, unless you want to get rid of something for free.
Yeah, is there anything we want to get rid of? I don't know what there would be. I mean, I guess I could get rid of localized hurricane, but...
Yeah, I mean, potentially punch of the week, but I think we want to keep it, so...
All right. So we'll skip that. And, yeah, I mean, I feel like if I'm going to...
Yeah, just go ahead and... Actually, they'll be dead by the time I use Rampage, so we'll just go ahead and hit them with localized hurricane.
All right, so yeah. So should I take one out, or should I leave some with HP? What are we thinking?
I don't think it matters.
All right, I'll just take out a living rock slide then.
Because, like, there's enough damage between Ra and Haka that he's not even going to need Rampage.
All right, and then localized hurricane.
And with the 2 obsidian fields, actually, Rampage will do a bunch of damage to us, so we can avoid that.
Yeah. And then I get a vicious cyclone, Genebound shackles, and then my card draw for the turn is aquatic correspondence. And I do not want to discard 2 cards, and I still don't want to discard 2 cards. All right. And we are on to Ra.
All right, how about we have another +1 damage?
Why not?
Oh, and I wish I had... I should have kept that other thing that would let us be immune to fire damage. Then Haka's rampages wouldn't hurt us at all.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to throw this staff and take out the phalanges. I think. Yeah. For 7 damage. I have another staff, which the Argent Adept can make him play. Yeah, this is going to be over soon. Oh yeah, I guess Flame Barrier would react as well if I did Rampage. Richard points out.
Ah, yes. All right, so what do we got here? I do have a melody, finally. It is the Sarabane of Destruction. 1 ongoing or an environment.
Yeah, I don't think we need that, though, right? Because that raptor's going to kill the phalanges
Yeah.
for us. So you could... getting out another rhythm song would allow you, give you some more options.
Yeah, I think I might just get out that counterpoint bulwark. Because again, well... because
And Vernal Sonata is not a
would
bad
not
idea,
be a
too.
terrible play at this point.
Sorry?
So to say Vernal Sonata is not a terrible choice at this point.
Yeah,
we
I
took
think
some
it's
damage
fine.
last turn.
Yeah, we can get Flesh of the Sun God or whatever we want back out.
Yeah, let's do that, actually.
It's one of my favorite cards. It has a puppy on it.
All right, first card. All right, so for those, since we haven't really been reading off the cards a lot as much, each hero target regains 1 HP, then each player may take one card other than Vernal Sonata from their trash and put it on top of their deck. All right, so Tempest. Let's see. I already have a Gene-Bound Shackles in hand, so I think I'm going to keep... I think I'll just pull out that Lightning Slash. It's always good to have a big high damage dealer. And then for Argent Adept, let's see here.
I got Flesh of the Sun God and Haka of Battle.
I think I'm going to pull the Harp, actually. Because I have a couple harmonies in play.
Yeah, that harp is great.
Yeah.
Because then you can use the harp and the bell.
Yep. All right, so we're going to use the bell. And we are going to, once again, have everybody look at their card.
Which we know what they are. I guess you could...
Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess we do know what they are.
Why didn't you use the other... I guess you played a... Didn't you play another rhythm card?
I didn't.
Oh, no, you played Vernal Sonata.
Because I played Vernal Sonata. So we're not going to discard it.
Just press skip. No one has to do it.
All right.
Yeah.
And then, what are we going to... Let's see. I don't need to do that. All right, yeah. So who has a card to play?
Rock can play a staff.
Perfect.
What a surprise!
Nope. And here we are.
All right. So I don't want to play any of these cards except I'll play Hawk of Shielding.
Yeah, get some cards. Get a Haka Battle.
Savage Mana, finally. I wanted to have
there
that
it
for a
is.
while.
Right on.
I'll discard a Ground Pound. And then I'm just going to stop. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Akash'bhuta because the Raptor is going to hit the Phalanges for us. So far, so good. More than half.
Yeah, and we've got Akash'bhuta down to the an amount of hit points that a normal villain might have.
And she flips. She's on fire. In the River of Lava.
Here we go.
The River of Lava is going to do +1 damage because of imbued fire. Yeah, so there's a choice here because whenever a villain target's destroyed, the top card of the environment deck is discarded. So you can choose between those. Which could matter in some situations, as most things in this game.
Yep.
Oh,
Alright,
destroy
so River of
that.
Lava. At the end of the environment turn, each hero may destroy one of their equipment cards. Deal any hero that does not destroy an equipment card 4 fire damage.
Ra's not destroying that card. He loves his card.
Yeah, and I mean I'm at 18, but I think I'm gonna skip anyway too because I really want to keep that bell.
7 damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage though.
And Hawk of Shielding comes through.
Oh yeah, nice.
And get a Rock Slide. Yeah, those Obsidian Fields add up for Akash'bhuta as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ra's going to hit back pretty hard, though. Not enough to kill it, but 6 damage from Flame Barrier.
Nice. Oof, yeah. Argent Adept is not doing all right.
And the top card of the villain deck because it destroyed an environment target.
Yep.
All right. We're fine. We're totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, she's only got 72 hit points left. Let's see here.
So you could gene-bound shackles. And,
what's going on with that river of lava? Let's see here. At the start of the environment turn, if each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck, destroy this card.
Go ahead. I'm thinking about... we don't have the Flesh of the Sun guide yet, so we're going to have to pay for that. But it's just discard the top 3, so it's not a big deal. Once I get Flesh of the Sun guide out, then we can not worry about fire damage anymore.
Ah, right. Okay.
But it's a power I have to activate, right? So it won't be able to happen until next turn, like next round. I mean, Gene-bound Shackles, or at this point with so many Obsidian Fields, Shielding Winds might not be a bad idea.
Yes, actually, that's a card I almost never play, but this is a situation where I think that would make sense. All right, so I can, I'm going to localize Hurricane, and so we're going to do 6 to the Mount of Carapace, which is not bad, and then 6 as well to Living Rockslide. Now, that damage is going to be reduced by 1, but then boosted by 2. Let's do Living Rockslide first. So that deals that damage. So it's 11. And then...
discard the top card of the environment deck.
Get my Lightning Slash, my Electrical Storm, and into the Stratosphere. Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
No.
All right, Ra. Now we're cooking with gas. I think I have another staff, so I think I might use Flame Spike and throw my staff.
I can get behind that idea.
Or I could use Fire Blast, or I could put out Blazing Tornado. I have lots of options. Actually, I might put out Blazing Tornado, and then next time... Yeah, I'm going to do Blazing Tornado. 7 damage. It's crazy. Yeah, the Carapace is going down. And actually, then if you want, you could have Ra play Fire Blast if you want to do even more crazy damage. Or even Flame Spike. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. You have more shenanigans to do.
I do. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to get the harp out. All right, so let's see here. So, Perform of a Harmony, and one of the harmonies that I have allows me to use a power, which will then let me use the bell. Right?
Yep.
I'm doing that right? All right, I'm just making sure I'm understanding what I'm doing. All right. So, one player may use a power now. I'm going to do myself, and then I'm going to use the bell. So just so everybody's clear on what's happening, and I feel like it helps me to vocalize this, not only because I'm the Argent Adept who is not currently vocalizing, but basically the harp allows me to activate the Perform of a Harmony and the Accompany of a Harmony. So I just used the Perform of a Harmony to use another power. So I'm in the middle of the harp right now, in the middle of a song. I'm in the bridge, and I'm playing a completely different song. And so now I'm using the bell to use Inventive Preparation. Let everybody look at the top card. So let's see. Tempest here has got a ball lightning. I'm not going to discard that. That's always good to have. Ra.
I'll keep that.
And Argent Adept. Arcane Cadence. No, I'll keep that. And then Haka.
Yeah. Here. I haven't had any equipment all game.
Like a bridge over troubled lava. That's good. That's a good one. Nice work. All right. Okay, so that brings me to the second part of the bell, which is an accompany of a harmony or a rhythm. And then I also get the accompany of a rhythm. No, I'm sorry, the accompany of a harmony. So I can do The best choice might be to... Well, it was going to be the best choice either way. Is going to be Inventive Preparation. Then I can use either Inspiring Supertonic or Sadistic Dissonant, which I'll probably use Sadistic Dissonant now I'm thinking about. But, all right, so who has a card to play? Lava is a battlefield. All right, sorry. Who we say? Ra?
Yeah, Ra's going to do the most damage right now, I think. Because I can play Flame Spike to do 1 damage. Oh, yeah, I could either use Fire Blast or Flame Spike. They're both good. I'll use the Fire Blast. Straight up damage.
Yes. Lava Shack.
I could have put out the Flesh of the Sun God, but I'll do that next turn.
All right, and then I actually think I'm going to just heal.
Well, that's your... or you could have someone draw a card.
Yeah, I could...
Or the discard and draw.
Sadistic Dissonant, but I feel like...
Yeah, I would take the 2 hit points.
Yeah. We're low. No and no.
Once again, not going to play Rampage. However, I can play Hawk of Battle, and I punish the weak bonus damage too. So actually, I'm going to discard everything. Maybe not everything, but most everything. Ground Pound. Yeah, Savage Mana. We'll keep 1 Rampage around, just in case.
Love it.
Increased damage dealt by Haka by 6. 12 damage. Yeah, so Savage Mana is really useful in this battle, but it came out a little late. We're not going to need it. What's lava got to do with it?
All right, so are we going to just... I think we'll all discard. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, all those cards we carefully decided to keep on top of our decks. Oh, and the Raptor bites you for 4 damage.
Glad I took those 2.
Hey, that won't do anything. That is a very good card for Akash'bhuta, but it's not going to bother us because I think we will kill her on this round.
All right. Let's see.
I would recommend not destroying the Raptor pack.
Yeah. So that's where, I want to play Genebound Shackles and then play Lightning Slash. But...
Well, just play Lightning Slash. And Lightning Slash and Localized Hurricane will do more damage overall.
Yeah. So that's 8.
But yeah, she's going to be dead.
And then we'll Localize Hurricane. Another 6. And then I'm going to draw 2 cards. Not kill Velociraptor pack, is that what you said?
Yeah, if you kill the Raptor, she'll play a card. Which could be not good.
Well, I mean, I guess really the question is, are we going to do 14 more damage throughout the course of this turn?
Absolutely.
Yeah? All right.
Since she does something horrible, so don't do anything.
I'm just saying, because otherwise the Velociraptor pack is going to come after Argent, so...
We can probably make it come after her. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. This is the last round.
Can you feel the lava tonight?
I'm doing 1 damage, which is 5 damage.
That was my wedding song, in case you were curious. The one that has love in it, not lava.
Actually, this is not getting past Ra's turn, just so you know.
Okay.
He is throwing the staff. Unless you want to finish her off. Do you have anything to deal damage? You don't.
Probably not.
Sorry, you can't. Goodbye, Akash'bhuta. You were a worthy opponent, but you were schooled by us.
And there she is, her mountainous carapace falling apart. Akash'bhuta.
Into the ground from whence she came.
It's a great wedding song. It's the Lindis. It was a good one. And we actually had a band, so it was like a well done version. It wasn't just like the Lion King version or the Elton John version. All right, well, there you have it, folks. Akash'bhuta. That's your first look at the new artwork and a new villain coming soon in Infernal Relics.
Mm-hmm. Good job, team.
Well played. So was there anything about Akash'bhuta that we want to talk about that we didn't cover while we were playing?
We could go into the multiverse.
Yeah, as I was going to say, pop in here and take a look at her cards real quick.
I think that was mostly. I think we saw almost all of her cards.
Yeah, I think the issue is that like a lot of her few one shots, you don't really get to see them much because they kind of just sort of get stuff done. So she's got this Disrupt the Field, which came out. I feel like it came out pretty early and didn't do much.
It didn't come out at all, I don't think.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that destroys all the existing environment cards and then plays the top card of the villain and the top card of the environment, which can be pretty devastating in the right circumstances.
Yeah, so you say that about the one-shots, but if she gets all of her limbs in play and she has 3 of each, it's ridiculous.
I'm sure.
Because her deck is full of these horrible other cards. That happened to us when we played yesterday. We played against her on the tabletop in the Enclave of the Endlings, which is full of targets. So she played tons and tons of cards, and that ended up being a very, very difficult game that we basically just decided to stop playing because we knew we weren't going to win.
Yeah.
And then we played again in Rook City and destroyed her pretty utterly. So she's a really interesting villain because she works with the environment in a way that few other villains do.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So all the combinations of heroes and villains, villains and environments are interesting, but it's even more so with Akash'bhuta because of that interaction. But yeah, do we want to take any questions?
Yeah, so with Primeval Eruption, how many of those does she have? Because I feel like I played once where like 2 of those came out right in a row, and she ended up with like 8 limbs in play where she had none.
She has 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, when those chain together, that can be pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's not very likely to happen because of the revealing and whatever, but it can happen.
I want to know what lava is. Whenever I see one that I like, I'm just going to sing it. I hope that's okay.
Replace the word love in a song with lava, since the chat is not obviously on here. I wonder if you can like embed the chat into the video somehow. That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, that could be tricky. Somebody wants to see Apostate's card, so...
But I guess you could, right? Because you could take the pop-up chat and like embed it as part of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
It would be weird. And also litigious.
Yeah.
Are you showing Apostate's card?
I am. So we got Apostate's character card. There you go. And then flip side. This is actually some of the new Apostate artwork. You can't see all of it yet. You can just see the multiverse Apostate.
Yeah, we'll be demoing him on a future stream.
For those who are not already sort of versed in all the Infernal Relic stuff, Apostate is Fnatic's nemesis, and he is in many, many ways the anti-Fnatic. So you see that in the same way that Fnatic has Absolution, the sword, Fnatic has Condemnation, which is his sword. And actually, I played them against each other a couple times in testing, and these relics, whew. Like, the trick with Fnatic is that, like, Fnatic has the sort of the nuke card, the End of Days card, where you play that and everything gets wiped off the board, except what, John?
Except relics.
Except relics. So
and
so when you're playing against Apostate, that card is not as useful as you might want it to be.
He has one of those cards, too.
Yeah.
He has his own End of Days equivalent, Apocalypse.
Yeah, and man, some of these relics are really rough.
Yeah, especially if multiple of them come out together.
Mm-hmm.
like Runes of Malediction coming out together with Periapt of Woe.
Is Periapt of Woe the one that reduces their damage by 2? Reduce damage to this card by 2 is Periapt of Woe, and Runes of Malediction is the one...
Yeah, so it ends up with -4.
Yeah, -4. And then, on top of that, then you can get the Orb of Delirium, which means that you can't go after the one that's actually reducing the damage. Oh, yes, this guy has some chains that can really mess you up.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, he's not tough, but if he gets the right combination of relics out, he can be almost impossible. So he's a little swingy. Cool. I guess there's not many questions coming through, so we'll wrap up. We will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Indeed. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour, or hour and 17 minutes, I will be in Atlanta this weekend at MomoCon. Which is at the CNN Center in downtown Atlanta. If anyone is in or around the Atlanta area and you want to stop by MomoCon and say hi, please do so. I'm the only Handelabra not who will be there. Yes, Lou Dolphin and I would be more than happy to do a Cleveland Sentinels meetup. I know that there's a couple of Sentinels, or not Sentinels, but there's a couple of board game meetups that happen already. And I know Jennifer, who works for us here in Handelabra, she is also a Clevelander, and she also goes to a number of these board game meetups. Tweet at us or post it on our Facebook page, and maybe we'll see about getting something scheduled. Obviously not in the short term because I'm going to be out of town, but maybe the next couple of weeks. Yes, thank you, Silverleaf.
Well, I'll mention if you're in Halifax, I help organize a Sentinels night every Monday at the Boardroom Game Cafe. So you can find that on Facebook if you search for Sentinels Halifax. Carry on.
Yeah, so to follow up with what Silverleaf was saying is that Christopher and Adam from Greater Than Games will be doing a live stream on the Greater Than Games Twitch channel all day Monday, where they will be showing you the creation of a new Sentinel Tactics character from 0 to, well, as close to complete as they can get in one day. But they're going to be doing the design, the drawing, the artwork, the play testing, the mechanics, the whole 9 yards all day long on Monday. I know that I'm going to probably have it on in the background at least while I'm here, just so I can sort of check in on it, because it seems like it's always fun to sort of get a peek behind the curtain like that. So I highly recommend that. That's twitch.tv/greaterthangames.
What's at twitch.com?
That is a good question.
Is it dangerous?
Let's find out. Twitch.com. My guess is they probably own it, and they just don't use it. But, yep.
It just goes to twitch.tv.
Yep.
That could have been embarrassing.
Indeed. All right, folks. Well, once again, thank you as always. And I've been Jeremy, and with me as always is...
John.
And we are...
Johnny on the spot.
We are 50% of Handelabra, and we will see you next week.
Cheers.